hydrate power. You're in the dog zone for an hour.
It got so big, it became a muscle bone. It got stabbed into me. Let it pop. I'm not sweating, I'm just missing you. With one step closer to the moon.
Yeah, 9,000.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DOGGZZONE 9000, the official podcast of 1-900-HOT-DOG, America's last comedy website. The dead internet is no longer a theory. It's real, and it's an unceasing golem of pure, murderous instinct that will not stop until it wipes us all out. If you hate that, and you want to try to stop it, you should consider supporting the final girls of the internet, 1-900-HOT-DOG, where you'll find real comedy written by real people. I'm your guest host, Zak Koonce of the Arlnauts. Call me Charles Band the way I'm conducting these hoes. With me is the Jeeper to my creeper, Seanbaby.
Hi. It's tough to follow the hose thing. I'm also great with hose. Thank you for having me here on my podcast.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have you here. Special times. Joining us today is special guest and designer of Fax Machine Face, the runner-up submission in the Hellraiser 3 Create a Cenobite contest, Dirk Marshall.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to witness firsthand how much of this episode will be the two of you discussing the sexual escapades of Grace Jones and Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, damn. We do that a lot, don't we?
Yeah.
God, can you imagine how beautiful that must be when they fuck?
It's just, you can't say that and then not just start going off onto a vision quest.
Just a spiritual experience. A yin-yang symbol swirling around.
It is pretty bad, though, if you get called out for it. You're like, okay, yeah, we do. This does come up way too often.
I honestly did not even know we did that. I thought I just talked about that every day.
You're right. We think, and we're so ADHD, we just think that it's the first time we do it every single time we bring it up.
Yeah, it happens. It's one of our landmines, one of our mental landmines.
Sean, are you like a horror person? I know you're like tight with Full Moon Studios, but
I do like Full Moon. Full Moon kind of vibes with my schlock. I feel like horror's real low on my list. Like it goes kung fu, action, sci-fi, several more genres, and then horror.
Okay.
So I appreciate bad movies. I'm not sure there is such a thing as a good horror movie. Maybe that will help you calibrate my taste. But it's really hard for me to find a bad horror movie that I like.
It could be argued because we're just getting out of that whole elevated horror phase, which I kind of found annoying personally. But yeah, I know Dirk grew up just steeped in this stuff. Your expertise here, I think, is going to be key to everyone's survival.
I can't say it's ever helped me in life, but I did spend a lot of time alone watching horror movies. Just to be clear, I'm not someone that has like the Scream pajama pants and that kind of stuff. Like I just liked the movies, just so people know.
But yeah, your dad had the video store.
Yeah.
So you grew up with, I guess the coolest thing about horror movies was the box art. Like you'd go into the video store and you're like, these fucking boxes rule.
1,000,000%.
I had Dead Pit in my home as a kid. My grandpa had like a distribution chain. So we'd get all those like demo reel movies. And so we'd have the Dead Pit box would light up. Like you'd hit the button and like the zombie coming out, his eyes would light up. And I'm like, this shit rules. There's like that one with the blood in the cover. There's like a plastic sheet. And then there's like the gooey blood you could shove around in the video store. And I was like, okay.
Dirk's just sitting there like, you don't deserve any of these artifacts. They should be with me. They should belong in a museum.
No, I did. I saw it every day in the video store. So a lot of that stuff, I mean, it feels like my childhood home. That's like why I even started a podcast, was just because I was like, oh, wow, this stuff really left a mark on me outside of like impairing my social abilities with other humans. I love it. I love the weird creature effects and stuff from the 80s. I was drawing all the gore stuff in elementary school and getting in trouble. Like,
so yeah, you probably get sent to the office a lot.
A couple times. Yeah.
Killer segue, by the way. You brought your podcast up. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh, yeah. So it started out just like every episode is about a film and the guest has his profession. So if it's about a killer rat, then I have like an exterminator on and that kind of thing. And over time, it's grown because I got where I wanted to talk about weirder things that didn't quite tie in. So I'll do everything from like a horror movie draft episode, or just have people on with a weird theme. But I do still enjoy torturing completely random people that I've reached out to and asking them to watch like very obscure movies and then share their life with me. So people should check that out. It's VHS, VHUS. I like to name a podcast after a 3 times dead physical media. So, I'm destined to get all the listeners.
I've been listening. It's an awesome podcast. Your horror drafts have got me like shouting.
Oh, thank you.
If somebody makes like the wrong pick, or I'm kind of like, no, you should have went with the other one, man. Like,
yeah,
it's very sports. I mean, obviously that's what it's going for.
Yeah,
I feel that sports investment. That real sports heads get that I've just never felt once in my life.
Same.
So it's nice.
Thank you,
Sean. Where can people find you? I'm killing this whole guest host thing. It's
no, this really is excellent doing the plugs. The 1-900 Hot Dog you plugged. You should check out our other podcast, Big Feats, which is a watch along of the insane show Mountain Monsters, where a group of hillbillies goes into the woods to try to find the majestic Bigfoot, immediately do, and then get the shit kicked out of them by that creature. It's bi-weekly. It's more popular than a regular podcast, so you might already know about it.
There's a chance, yeah. Today is probably going to be a mess, and that's kind of by design. I feel like I've been the guest on your show several times where Robert has like painstakingly crafted like an amazing premise and then really worked, like applied his craft to it to make it into an interesting podcast, only to have you and I just completely derail it with like useless tangents and stupid anecdotes. So I was like, I'm going to put myself in Robert's shoes. I'm going to come up with way too many notes for a thing that we're probably not going to get through. I've littered it with landmines. So this is going to be just...
I have no idea. Are we doing like an RPG? Are we doing like
a little bit? I'm going to DM just a bit here. The premise is obviously you guys on your website and your show deal with cursed artifacts that don't belong in this world.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
This list of movies, for reasons we'll discuss, I don't think should exist. And so we're gonna deal with that with I'm calling it an audible. I'm gonna do a one-time exemption for a premise that does not exist that I think should, which is your old monster hunting show. Because every time you guys bring that up, I'm like, why doesn't that exist? And why does this shitty timeline have 11 Hellraiser films but no Seanbaby versus the monsters? So
yes,
you guys are gonna beat up a bunch of monsters. That's
that was our pitch. We just went into the room and they're like, "So tell us about your show." I'm like, "Why are there so many Hellraisers? I should have a show. Why do karate on monsters?
Why don't I do karate on Hellraisers? I think that's the solution. So we're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna beat up a bunch of monsters. You guys are gonna be in the world."
Yeah.
But like, I'm not going to DM. I don't like Dungeons and Dragons. I think that's been well established on this show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
famously. People talk about it all the time. That Zach fella hates Dungeons and Dragons.
That D&D hater? Yeah, I know that fuckhead. So I'm going to like just kind of guide you guys through it, but I'm on your side. I want you to win. And because of that, I've also given you the option. I've given you the option of calling in backup where it might be necessary. So each film we talk about is going to have a roster of action heroes from the corresponding year.
Oh, wow.
These action heroes are from movies that should not work, but kind of do for a lot of rad reasons. And so you can call on them if you want. You don't have to. You could just bring them in right away, just if you're curious to see who they are. But we're going to start with Puppet Master because I feel like Charles Band has come up now more than a few times on this show. Mm-hmm. But Puppet Master has like really, in my opinion, is the original cursed artifact that led to just hundreds of films about stupid baby shit. Like, for whatever reason, Charles Band thinks that toys are the end-all, be-all of horror media. And so we've got blood dolls.
Yeah, I saw that pretty recently, and it does not hold up. Like,
it's not good.
It's like a really horny movie, but by someone who's never fucked. Like, the love scenes are like, dude, what am I looking at? What is this?
It's just people necking and grinding.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of full moon movies are like this, where it's just based on an idea and very, very little else. And so they're just, what if puppets were evil? And they're like, okay, we need 89 and a half more minutes. They're like, nah, we'll figure it out on the day of. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. They're like, all right, I got this. Psychics. A couple of them are really horny. One of them's super weird. They fight puppets.
Yeah?
And they it's not.
I love it.
I don't know.
It writes itself, and then they find out it does not.
It does not write itself.
For something that launched like a whole studio, it's really boring. And I grew up watching these movies. It was like playing on HBO all the time when I'd go to friends' houses, but I'd already watched it in the video store and tried to make it good in my mind. And I mean, it's got Blade, it's got Leech Lady. I mean, you have all these things where you're like, awesome, but there's just a lot of psychics with a lot of hair. The dude's hair is out of control.
That one guy has a lot of hair and not a lot of hair at the same time. It's truly bizarre.
It goes in directions you wouldn't expect hair to go.
Yeah, that's the true puppet master.
Yeah. So those of you who, for some reason, don't know, Puppet Master is a 1989 film where cheeky little inventor Andre Toulon has stolen the secrets of Egyptian voodoo. I don't know what the deal is there, but it can animate inanimate objects. He chose puppets because why not?
Why not?
And then Nazis are after him for his deadly secrets. He kills himself, and now the hotel's haunted by little Nazi puppets. So these psychics are in the house for reasons. And they all get attacked by puppets, and it's all very adorable. And it's a bunch of things that I used to think were rad, and in hindsight are kind of lame.
So it's me and Dirk have to defeat these puppets?
Yeah, sure. And you know what?
Oh my God.
I'm going to make it real nice for you, because the movie basically, some of them team up, but for the most part, it's just, each puppet has its own set piece.
Yeah.
So you guys get to fight Tunneler first. He's the little Nazi guy with the stubby drill.
With the drill
tip.
head.
Got it.
Yeah. If you look under a bed for any reason, you're probably fucked. Like, that's where he gets you. Curious people looking under beds.
For a long time. She looks under there for
Yeah.
a long time to get that drill to the face.
I think step one is to just move really quickly. Like, I mean,
Right, okay.
like, that's how he gets you, is like you look under the bed too long, you hold still too long, he comes up and stabs you in the leg, or the Achilles heel would be real bad.
Right.
So I think if like you look under the bed, you pop open the bed, you sweep your arm real fast. Maybe you get a little drill, a little nick on the, ow, ooh, what was that? Well, it's just constantly swatting, constantly kicking. You move like Frankenstein, a very amped up Frankenstein. You're immune to all his attacks.
Just football, NFL punt kick motions all the way. Yeah.
Just, I'm going to take a step over here. Just high kicks. Let him get in the way.
I'm going to go more tap dance. I'm just going to constantly keep the feet moving because they won't know what to do. They're like 2 inches tall. I think that'll keep me away from Tunneler pretty well.
I like that because it puts the movie into a new genre, too. Mm-hmm. It's a tap dancing horror movie.
Yeah, it's just stomping and kicking, just
Gregory Hines.
nonstop. Yeah. That's the third fucking time Gregory Hines has come up in the last week. I don't understand what's going on. They've been completely unrelated. The dude's awesome. Like, I get it, but
sure.
Just Eve of Destruction came up.
What if he and Grace Jones and Dolph Lundgren?
Oh, shit.
I mean, hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
The only way the puppets have a chance is if these three are just deep in some fucking and just don't notice anything. They're just dead to the world. And, like, that gives, Tunneler a chance to just sit there for 10 minutes, just kind of nudging into your heel.
Can we summon Gregory Hines? That would free up Dirk to do something other than tap dancing.
The only rule I have is that they have to be from the same year as the movie that the puppet
from
Master
1989.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't think we need anybody. If we're just fighting a puppet with a drill on his head, I don't even need a weapon. Like, I will kill this puppet on accident.
I'm sure this has happened to other people. When you're like swapping out drill bits on your power drill, sometimes you like hold the thing too long and it kind of spins in your hand and like just gives you a little. I feel like Tunneler is not even as bad as that. Like, he's got a big chunky drill that doesn't really move that fast. I feel like you could touch that thing and be all right.
I want to try to grab that drill, let him turn himself on and just like spin himself into complete nausea. I feel like that'd be a really funny way to defeat that puppet.
You think your grip strength? So this hubris might be what gets you then. You're like, I can hold that drill. I got this.
Yeah. Oh, hubris will definitely kill me in this game.
I do have a question. I've only played a little bit of RPG or tabletop type games, but can Sean and I injure each other? Do we have some kind of buff?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, we can? Okay, I have to.
Yeah, I think turning you against each other is the only chance most of these puppets are going to have.
Fair. He's got the high kicks.
It'll never happen.
I don't know.
Speaking of Nazis, I take a Nazi spiked helmet, I put it on Dirk's head. He's now a spear.
Oh, no.
So this could end badly, Dirk. Or it could end spectacular. This is the death any great man deserves.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, let's use that ingenuity on my favorite, Pinhead. He's the little muscle guy. He's got not quite human-sized hands. That's fucked up because a dwarf actress plays his hands. Okay. So he's got dwarf hands, but they're strong hands. They're strong enough to maybe knock you out after 15 to 20 punches. So,
dude, I love this.
The question is, can you take several hundred punches to the face for Pinhead before you find a way to take him out?
I'm a white guy kickboxer, so my number one ability is taking an ass kicking. That's my on my fighter stats. It says ass kicking, taking 9 out of 10. It's pretty strong. Speed, lung capacity. Those are a little low.
Can Chong Li snap my shit in half? Yes, that is the answer.
Yeah. That's my role in that movie. I do enjoy this puppet a lot because he does punch. That's his main weapon is punching.
Punch and grab. He's got big grab attacks too. He'll grab your ankle. I don't know. Like it hurts.
Did he ever? Yeah, sure. Did he ever punch a man? Like there's that scene where he's just pounding on that lady.
Punches women.
Yeah. And it's like, this is fucked up. This is fucked up, puppet. But then like she will remember halfway into the beating that, oh yeah, this is a puppet, and just pick him up and throw him because he has puppet mass. He's not like
and he's got no dynamite in those fists. Either that or she's got a jaw of solid steel. Like she's she's tough. Yeah.
So yeah, she'll just pick him up every few punches and throw him. And I feel like they did that beat. I'm in my head at 70 times. I feel like they did that so many times.
I kind of drifted off and woke up and like, she's still just getting socked in the face by this guy and throwing him around.
Punch, throw. Punch,
she's really acting the shit out of this puppet fight.
So yeah, there's no chance. I would use this puppet as an alarm clock. I would like let him punch me awake.
He's got this adorable sort of like surly grumpiness to him too that I like.
Yeah.
They all make their own little noises and he's like, And
he's got a nice sweater. He's ready for
He's got a beautiful like he's like got that dock worker kind of. He's not quite like Nazi level as like the other ones are. He's more like just I'm working. I got a job even though it's World War II and shit's going on. This one's kind of easy because she pops his head off just like a little cork. She's and then there goes. And he puts it back on.
Yeah, he can put it back on.
There's got to be
and you could do that all day. If you have to pop a puppet's head off 11, 12 times a day, I can fit that into my schedule.
He might give up after a while. He might just be like, you know what? This sucks. I'm not getting anywhere.
Puppet Master doesn't get enough credit for dodging the sort of 1980s-ness of the movie. Like, these puppets are a lot of different things. Like, one has a tiny head and big fists, one has a drill, one spits leeches, but they're not, like, racially insensitive. Like, the 80s could have really, you know. Like,
and their Nazi-ness had a funny journey, too, because then, after the first movie came out, then they made 2, and then they realized, oh, people actually like these things. Let's retcon them into, now they're like dark reflections of the Nazis that tormented Toulon. Yeah. So they're good in that sense where they're not like, real Nazis. But then eventually over the course of 70 or 80 films, they become Nazis again. And people seem to really think that's awesome. So I don't know where the Puppet Master franchise stands now and who likes it, but I don't have a good feeling about it.
Well, Craig Zoller from that, that did Dragged Across Concrete and whatever that other 90, what is that? Brawl in Cell Block 99. He wrote one of the big like Nazi ones of Puppet Master.
Yeah, like Masters of the Axis or some shit. I don't remember the names
Axis
of them.
Evil,
but
Genius.
Axis of Evil. Yeah, that's close. Yeah. Littlest Reich. Like the names of them become very like. What's
that's fucking rad.
What's 10 levels above Dog Whistle?
Littlest Reich. It's really good. Like I can see the appeal of Nazi puppets. You say, oh, they're evil puppets. I don't care. They're Nazi puppets. All right, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Did you say Littlest Reich? Okay, let's try it out.
I think that's a weird one too because you got people from like. Reno 911 in it. Like it's just it's a weird movie, man. I watched and kind of couldn't believe. I retained none of it. I remember there was a lot of gory kills, but so now you guys are tired. You're a little sleepy. You take a nap.
Oh no.
I guess you're taking a nap together. Yeah, it's
okay. I'm keeping the punch puppet alive in case we need to wake up quickly.
Okay, sure. Well, you do because you wake up to the sounds of just the cutest little lustiest doll moans ever, and you wake up to this little doll lady puppet just caressing your nipples with her lips. It's just how do you?
I remember this scene.
How does anybody feel about this? What goes through your head when you wake up and there's a little weird rubbery wooden woman just like moaning with your nipples through your nipples?
I guess I'd think what a completely ordinary day because I am a super creep like that. The number of sex puppets I have.
I don't know if this is one of those scenarios where like because this is being done to one of the horny weirdos and so horniness is his demise, I guess, as well. Like I don't know if you weren't that horny, would Miss Leach still like get horned up for you like that? Or
Yeah.
I think that's
I mean,
the only approach.
I don't think horniness will be like the ironic death that kills me. I don't know. I feel like you've given us another puppet that doesn't seem a big threat. Like she squirts one regular, ordinary, like river leech out every 10 minutes.
10
She's
minutes,
like,
I'd say. Yeah.
Has to hack this thing
We can
slowly
talk
out.
about the audio treatment they give there. It's like exactly the sound of like a reverse blowjob. I don't even know how else to describe it. It's just like,
Yeah, it takes one blowjob out of your life if you play
yeah,
it.
it's gawk spelled backwards, I think is the audio. They put some finesse on it that I did not enjoy. I thought that was a really weird choice, and I had to take a break.
I think I'd see the leech woman and be like, okay, I'd like to say that I wouldn't go, let's see how this plays out, but I might, that's probably what I'm going to think. But the second the starts going on, I'm going to make a different choice real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to swat her off like a spider. Like, Gurga!
Leech woman might be the first one that dies, because in the second one, they're like terrorizing this hillbilly couple in a cabin, and she gets thrown into a furnace, and I think that's it for Leech Woman.
I feel like if you have to make a cut, you're gonna cut the puppet that squirts leeches. Like,
They replaced her with a guy with that helmet you described earlier and a blowtorch for an arm and bullets for teeth. So I think they made the right choice. That guy
super big
ruled.
improvement. Yes.
I like the retcon of Miss Leech too, because then once they became like dark reflections of evil people. Andre Toulon's wife was killed by a Nazi soldier, and so he put his wife's soul into this doll. I'm like, sir.
Okay. And she's a fucking leech.
Yeah, why is your wife the horniest, weird little puppet of them all? Like, she's the only one with a sex drive.
Yep. Toulon is hot.
Toulon he's a freak like that.
He's got that seductive voice.
I gave her reverse suck powers. That's my wife, ladies and gentlemen. All that leaves is Jester. I guess he's the heart of the team. He's the only one that really expresses emotion. So he'll spin his little face and turn into sadness if there's a real bummer thing happening to the puppets, or, they get bad news.
He seems handy. Like, he's kind of like a good barometer of the tone of the next scene.
Right.
You're forgetting there's that little bus pervert puppet that just has a knife.
Blade, yeah.
Yeah, Blade.
I have it written down. I just glossed over it. Blade, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's probably...
Yeah, he's the most...
He's also not much of a threat.
He's not. I would say old me, teenage me, who loved full moon movies, like, unironically, would be like, yes, he's the deadliest one of all. But then you see it, and it's like a little letter opener knife, and just, like, kind of a hook that you would maybe hang a picture off of, like a wall mount. He's adorable, but yeah, he's a little Gestapo guy.
When he gets excited because he has eyeball erections that happen?
Yeah, he does. He gets sprung. He's like, wowza. It's like a Tom and Jerry cartoon effect. Yeah, all these puppets have way too many ways to express horny. I don't like this at all. Please end this puppet. How are you going to take out Blade?
I guess I'll tear him gently in half with my human strength.
There you go. I kind of feel like that should have been... It's boring, but that should have been the solution to all of them. Like, just pull that stuffing out. They did actually strip Tunneler naked at one point, and I'm thinking of part 2, actually.
Yeah.
I keep getting the two mixed up, because they're both just so fucking boring.
Two's better than 1, that's why.
2 is better than 1 for, like, all day. It's still not good.
There's a scene everyone should maybe look up where, like, they have a lady in, and I think they're trying to do, like, a Peter Venkman thing where he's, like, this pervert scientist hitting on the subject. Yeah. And they're like, okay, detect this lady's erotic fantasies. And he's like, why are you thinking about a horse on the beach? And it's like everything just is landing with a thud. And they keep doing the bit for, it feels like 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. It feels like an 8-year-old trying to write a sex scene based on Fabio novels that he's looked at. It's trying to be funny, which is another one of those. It's 100% not. So you're like, well, what are we doing here? Is this really happening in the movie, or are we fucking doing a Ghostbusters?
Charles Band kind of has that thread running through all of his movies. This, like, not quite getting sexiness, funniness, coolness. Just it all. It makes me really. I've looked into him just enough to make sure that he wasn't some sort of like sex criminal.
Oh, I have his autobiography, and
do you?
I also have a book,
and it's called "I Am a Sex Criminal."
It's called, I think, Confessions of a Puppet Master. Yeah.
Okay.
But in defense, one thing I'll say in defense of Puppet Master is that if you've ever watched, like you're with the family, let's say, and you're watching Nightmare Before Christmas, and you see Dr. Finkelstein there, and you're like, I wish I could see him shoot himself in the face. Well, you can watch Puppet Master because the actor William Hickman does just that.
William Hickman, yeah. He blows himself away in like pretty dramatic fashion. William Hickey's one of those actors that is just always seemed 90, but in that scene, they're making him like move this gigantic puppet truck around. And I feel like it's just him doing it. I'm like, this is really sad. Like, somebody please help him. I know that he's alone in this room technically, but let's break the fourth wall this one time and help him get this fucking thing in the storage.
At least get Pinhead in there. He could do something.
Yeah. I kind of set you guys up with an easy one. The puppets are just, they're not a threat. They're adorable at best. So I think we can safely... Oh, did you want to know who your roll call was for your backup?
Yeah.
Just in case you needed it. 1989 gave us Brian Kelly from Gleaming the Cube. So he could use that rad metal skateboard
really handy
on him. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Rip Thomas from No Holds Barred was also a 1989 film. I would have given you the entire cast of Best of the Best.
Oh, Alex Grady.
An arm wrestling scene in Puppet Master would be really funny.
With Rip and Pinhead?
Yeah.
Rip
Holy
and Pinhead.
shit.
That would be the cover. That's your box cover.
That's your box cover.
Over the tiny top. Right now. We're close.
Over the tiny top. Littlest Rip. Your last hero would have been Nick Parker from Blind Fury, and I think he kind of would have had the final say on what happened with the puppets.
That seems fair to have a blind samurai fighting puppets. I feel like
absolutely.
That's what Puppet Master was missing, is some sort of a versus element. Puppet Master versus Psychics would have accurately described the movie and been a much better title.
I have some good news for you, because there's approximately 75 films with Puppet Master versus in the title.
I understand, but I'm saying that's they figured it out quick, just like we just did, I suppose.
I wish there was like Puppet Master 37 Puppets versus Blind Man. Just that's the
Puppet, Puppets versus Blind Samurai. You could, I would have liked that. He would have been like,
oh, I'd buy that.
Doing that, scanning the environment with his ears and listening for Leech Woman's lustiness,
Yep. Before doing a fucking comedy bit where it's like, oh, I can't see, so I'm going to eat a rock.
Classic Nick Parker. All right. I love that fucking movie. That movie's so good.
It's so good.
Moving on. 1992, Hellraiser 3. To date, like I said earlier, there's 11 Hellraiser films. I would argue that 10 of them don't need to exist. 8 of them have no right to exist at all. So, I don't know. The first 2 movies kind of did their thing. They were, an innovative take on whatever, psychosexuality and masochism. And I think by 3, somebody said, enough of this Sigmund Freud bullshit. People want some Pinhead. And it just turned into a slasher movie. And they ran out of ideas. And that should have been the end of it. So you guys are going to help end it. I'm going to give you some Cenobites to fight. So this is going to be a little different. Your first Cenobite is Piston Head. He's the former club owner that is responsible. JP Monroe. Yeah. He's responsible for unleashing Pinhead. Pinhead used that kind of opening that you and I aren't so different. We're both like super into flesh. And dominating it.
Right.
And then that leads into him becoming...
You make love to women and then discard them. I run hell in a lot of ways.
We're basically the same dude. We should bro down. Out of all of these Cenobites in this film, this one's probably the least corny one. It's got a weird, kind of a surreal thing going on. But I guess it's the pistons pumping through his head is like, because he's always got thrusting on the brain. I really stretched to try to figure this one out. And it's just...
I think it was just something they figured out how to do with practical effects and said, this looks fucking awesome. I don't think they're wrong. It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a neat thing. It's a neat trick they did.
Hellraiser 2 was like one of my favorite movies growing up. Like I just unabashedly loved the movie. And when 3 came out, I was of age to see it in the theater. And I can't explain how sad I was for the entire experience of this movie.
Oh, man.
It was, by the time you get to the Cenobite that shoots the CDs out of his head, I was physically angry. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't even deal with it.
I can see that. The CDs remind me that, I feel like the key to defeating a Hellraiser situation is not to be near anything, because,
Right.
Because Hellraiser runs into the club and anybody near anything gets killed, ironically by that thing. Oh, you like ice in your drinks? Then be stabbed by ice forevermore. You're like, okay, she's just getting a drink. Her whole personality's not lady getting a drink. Yeah. So I feel like you just don't want to be near the CDs, or Pinhead will be like, you are the CD guy forever. So I don't know. I feel like that's a tip that me and Dirk need to keep in mind. Just kind of stay near nondescript things or multiple things at once. Just like a pile of stuff.
If I was a good DM at all, I would take every opportunity I could to turn that on you. I'm like, oh, you're standing on grass? Welcome to Earth, grass man.
God damn it.
You love it. Your arms are little old school mowers.
I throw some sand on the ground. There are 2 biomes. Pinhead cannot pick between them.
That's pretty good. I'm just naked in the middle of the room, away from everything.
You're halfway to becoming a Cenobite then. It's almost over for you. Peel off some strips and you're there.
That's true.
Does Pistonhead have any ranged weapons?
He's got nothing. He's got
nothing.
He's just a sex pest with a motor on the side of his head.
And me and Dirk are unarmed, at least right now.
Sure, yeah.
Are we in the club? Where are we?
Well, no, you're on the streets.
Okay.
These guys are all encountered. We first see JP at like a construction site. So you're outside, you're outdoors, you got space.
Okay. This is 1992. Can we call, God, is this the right year, Simon Phoenix? Can we call Simon Phoenix?
No. But I got one, I could do you one better. Well, maybe not better, but it's adjacent. It's John Cutter from Passenger 57.
Okay. Yeah, that is really adjacent.
It's adjacent. I would say you probably prefer Simon Phoenix, but I don't know if his chaotic nature would benefit you in the long run. You might not want him running.
No, he would betray us and say something really mean. Dirk and I, we always bet on black.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys are off to a good start.
Yeah, okay, cool. We call Wesley Snipes from Passion 57 and say, we've got a real easy one for you. This guy's got shit in his head, and he sucks.
Oh man, what would his one-liner be? He's gonna have something to say about it.
Oh, that's your challenge. You come up with a one-liner. JP is done for it. You guys got to do it though.
Looks like you got engine troubles. Kick his head off.
There it is.
Yeah, I guess. I'd like to hear maybe one more, but I think JP dies from this one though, for sure.
Yeah. I just pissed in your breakfast cereal.
JP's fucking just ignites into flames. He's done. He just got sent back to hell. All right, yeah, Pistonhead's dead. He bursts into flames from this lethal pun, and now you're faced with the Dreamer. This is a naive, sexy, hot, homeless girl who, for some reason, can't dream. I don't know why that matters or who fucking cares, but she can't dream. That's how Pinhead gets her. He's like, girl, you want to dream? I got dreams. Just let me just tear your throat open and just jam a cigarette in there that'll burn for eternity. You're good to go. So now she could dream.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck her theme is or what the hell it's supposed to go or what cigarettes have to do with dreaming, but go for it. Fucking send Dreamer back to hell.
You've got an open flame on your neck in an action movie. It's over for you. Like, everyone knows what's happening. Hairspray and a match. I don't think there needs to be more discussion. If you got an open flame on your neck, that's how you're going to die quickly.
I think that works. I think she's done for.
That being said, Wesley Snipes strikes me as the kind of guy who likes to kick a cigarette out of a neck, like just to show that he can. He's kind of, I feel like when things get slow at a party, Wesley Snipes kicks cigarettes out of people's necks.
That would have really come in handy if you had the best cast on that last one. They literally do that.
If that doesn't work as a backup, I say I would open the gas tank to one of the parked cars on the street, and then Sean would deliver something kind of along the lines of like tanks for the memories or something, and then kick her face first into the car, causing the car to explode.
Okay.
It would go up
I'll take that
instantly too. Just like it would just graze it. It would just detonate.
Mm-hmm.
So good job. Dreamer is toast. By the way, these aren't real Cenobites. When I looked up on the Hellraiser wiki or whatever, they're called like para-Cenobites or something like that. Somebody tried to retcon them, like their lameness, into being like, no, they're not. If you went to hell, they wouldn't be there. They're not, like, they're half formed. So I think death rules do apply to these guys. I think they can be blown up quite.
How little do you have to have in your life when you're like sitting at home trying to like reconcile the lameness of one Hellraiser? Now, come on, guys.
We can fix this. Yeah, exactly.
You're telling me Pistonhead would be there with Butterball? I doubt it.
Leviathan would fucking shut that guy down at the door.
There's a Cenobite named Butterball?
Yeah, he's the
he's one of the originals.
One.
He's the fat guy. It's unfortunate.
I'm not a big Hellraiser guy. I've seen this one.
Is this the only one you've seen?
Just 3.
Probably. Just 3. Yeah.
You got to at least watch 4. 4 is a Seanbaby, like classic. That's got 4 was almost received an Alan Smithy credit.
That's the one with Adam Scott, right?
Yes, Adam Scott is in it. That's his debut. His film debut.
That's the last one I saw in the theater.
As a French dandy. I saw that in theater too. I was shocked. I had fun. I was like, that movie was fun. It sucked complete shit.
It goes to space.
It was fun. Yeah, space. Why not?
Yeah.
All right, I like the sound of that.
He does the same thing too. He's like, "Oh, you're twins? Guess what? You're Cenobite twins now. That's your whole thing."
You just can't like let anything pop into his head when you see Pinhead.
He went from being like horny, BDSM demon to just straight up the Wishmaster. Like everything was a pun, everything was literal.
Well, it's because the first one was Clive Barker.
Yeah.
And he directed it, and he's like the ultimate like horror sex dude. And then after that, everyone's like you said, Wishmaster. They're just like combining. Oh, you like Nikes? You're a Nike guy. And
good luck, always running. Yeah. I do enjoy that Clive Barker said he came up with this idea while he was experiencing a BDSM club for the first time. That's probably maybe one of the most unique origins for a horror franchise I've ever heard. He's like, I was with my husband and we were just watching a bunch of leather dudes fucking spank each other. And I was like, this would be a great movie. Call it Hellraiser. I think he was scared though. Like he was a little intimidated because he'd never seen anything like that before. He was still young. So like the horror he was feeling, he was like, I need to channel this into something fucking rad that will eventually turn into CD Head, the DJ from JP's nightclub. His body is now a walking infinity disc changer. He throws CDs at you. And all of his joints sound like an old CD tray opening and closing. Every move he makes is the annoying sound of a CD tray opening and closing.
Please kill me.
Kids today wouldn't even know what the fuck he's throwing at them. He's just something that the kids would look down at the objects sticking out of their chest and be like, "Oh, is this the thing my parents used to listen to Belle Biv DeVoe on?"
That girl is poison.
Poison.
You will never trust a big butt and a smile again.
You are now big butt and a smile demon.
Damn it. I do like that song though, Pinhead. Thank you.
I guess I should be thankful that I'm not CD Head.
I do want to see Big Butt and Smile Demon now. That's more than anything.
They don't even have good names either, like some other thing, like Transformers, you'd have like Adatron to everything, or there's like Hellraiser has none of that. There's no like, Simulacracron or something. It's just CD Head, so it'd be Big Butt and a Smile Head. That's as far as they'd go.
Yeah, that sucks.
I do like that the original lady in the first Hellraiser. Do you know what her name originally was? Vagina Throat.
Oh, oof. I think she's just Lady Cenobite now, right? That's her official Vagina Throat.
Neither one of those are good.
It's a whole like vanity situation where he's like, "Your Vagina Throat," and she's like, "I don't think so," and they're like, "All right, you could just be Lady."
Fair
Cenobite.
enough. You win this round, Lady Cenobite. Would you do a CD Head though? Would you just like? I feel like I want to get on it now too. Like, do you just throw water on him? Like, what's his?
Oh, you put a sandwich in the CD tray.
There you go. Boom. He's fucking dead. A little peanut butter and jelly, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Like every parent has happened to their electronics. Put a grilled cheese sandwich in. I guess we'll have to ask Wesley Snipes what to say. He'd say maybe, "This song is really cheesy." And kick their head off.
I get it.
I feel like Wesley Snipes is running out of steam a little bit though, so I'm going to send you Barry Gabrewski from Sidekicks. He's there to help now.
Okay. Is that the Chuck Norris character or the kid character?
It's the kid. It's Jonathan.
Okay. Even better.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The kid that just pretends that he's Chuck Norris's best friend. That's his special skill. It leads to real karate. Like, he gets real karate from these daydreams.
It's the sucker punch for boys. Like, the whole thing takes place in, like, a traumatized bully's imagination.
No, sucker punch is the Sidekicks for pedophiles.
That should go on the fucking...
Yeah, put on the
Criterion collection. So we've killed CD Head. I feel like getting close enough to put the sandwich in, I might have taken a couple of CDs.
Okay,
but like,
so you're giving yourself some damage, some CD damage.
I'll take a little damage from walking up to CD Man with a sandwich.
You know what, though? It turns out that's not that bad. It's just a CD. I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah. You can throw these. I threw these at my brother all the time. It's just a normal thing to do.
He never once died. So maybe Barry Gabrewski can help you with our next Cenobite, Barbie. He's the former bartender. You know he likes to sling drinks, so why not make it his whole thing? Walks around with a shaker and just makes spicy concoctions. They burn you alive. He's the worst. I think it's easy to say the other ones are the worst, but he just really sucks. He just has a fucking cocktail shaker. Like, that's literally what he has.
Sucks.
And he has to aim
hard.
it, and he has to hit his target with it so that he can set it on fire.
This is exactly what I'm saying. It's just some dude was near a cocktail shaker, and Pinhead's like, you are your day job forever. I guess I'm going to pick up the kid from Psychics, and it's going to sound brutal, but I'm going to use him as a human shield so I can run up and kick his head off. I want to say, in my defense, I think that he was imaginary in that movie. So if I'm holding this kid, I think this is his psychic projection, not an actual human child.
Well, I think he's real, but you could use his psychic projection. Whenever he's doing a dream sequence with Chuck Norris, he turns into this like grown man white ninja so that you don't have to see his face. So I think
Is that who I'm holding?
I think you could hold his psychic projection.
Okay, so I'm holding the psychic projection adult stuntman ninja.
Right.
And he's going to eat all the fire from the Molotov.
That guy's pretty fucking cool
shaker.
too.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna he's gonna do the sweet ass like burn stuntman move where he walks around with his arms flailing. Like that Frankenstein walk. Love that walk.
Yeah. So I throw that at I'm not gonna kick his head off anymore. I think I'm gonna throw my flaming dear friend White Ninja at Cocktail Man. I can't remember his name. Drink head?
Yeah, drink face. It's drink head. Yeah. Because he's also, get this, he ran a bar. Great. Barbie makes sense, but that's not it. He's also wrapped in barbed wire. So now you got two barbs in there, making him maybe the most genius fucking creation of this whole series.
We're all very impressed.
They did it. I do like this director, by the way. I feel bad because he made the Waxworks films, which I think are a lot of fun. And,
I love those.
And he was given a shot here. I think he blew his shot, clearly. I don't think he directed anything else after this.
Was this a 3D movie?
No.
You're forgetting the most important Cenobite of this entire movie, which is Camera Head. He's a Cenobite with...
We are rolling.
That's a wrap. He's got puns. He's got a sweet fucking mustache. He's the only Cenobite that I know of that has a Hulk Hogan mustache. He calls people bitch, so he's got a real anger about him too. And because he's just got this big mutant head now with a broadcast quality camera shoved into the side of it. So he's probably the most powerful out of all of them, I would say, because he's not only does he have this like, pneumatic lens that can just punch a hole through your head, but he also can make shit explode if there's a TV on it, I guess. Like, I don't know what happened in that scene, but something exploded and he clearly was responsible. So you're in trouble now.
Who do we have left in our sidekick arsenal?
Jimmy Boland from Blood Fist 3, Born to Fight. That's Don the Dragon Wilson.
Don the Dragon Wilson, yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
I used the text from that poster on one of the Big Feet's intros.
It's a good font. The Blood Fist font is good shit. That's, as far as fonts go, that's classic.
I can't remember the copy, the tagline, but it was like, the best blood fist of all time, or some amazing,
was there like 8 blood fists? I think there's a lot. I lost track of them.
Maybe
he goes to jail in this one. I know that he gets he tries to pretend he's black. And there's some really kind of really secondhand embarrassment scenes in this movie for sure.
Wait, do we get Don the Dragon Wilson in blackface? Because that's going to really change the tone of my catchphrase.
Oh, shit. Let's just keep it. Let's keep it clean. Okay. Don the Dragon Wilson from the movie. Clean. He's done some time. He's jail hardened.
Okay. Don the Dragon does not have memorable catchphrases, so I feel like his is going to suck. He'll be like, "Time to cut," like something that just doesn't hit right.
Right.
But it will be a good shot because we'll get to see a POV shot of Camera Head while he's getting killed by Don the Dragon Wilson, and then it'll flicker out to static. I think that'll be a great ending to this scene.
Perfect, because I feel like Don the Dragon Wilson do finish a lot of guys with POV attacks, doesn't he? Isn't that a thing in his movies?
I don't know if it's a thing, but yeah, it sounds familiar.
I feel like it is. I'm going to say it is.
It'd be a waste of his handsomeness if you didn't do it.
Right. You want to see what it's like to get fucked up by Don the Dragon Wilson firsthand.
I was wrong earlier. There's 9 Blood Fist movies.
9 Blood Fist movies? That sounds about right. I feel like every time I went to the video store, there was a new Blood Fist movie. And I'm like, dude, I was here last weekend. What is this? So, yeah, Camerahead's dead. Don the Dragon Wilson just kicked his fucking lens off. The POV shot was what got him. He's like, I can't believe I provided a new unique camera angle to die from. I just really wanted to talk about that movie. That's really the purpose of all of this.
It is a pretty great movie. I like that it started with a big statue that eats people, but you have to get them close to the statue. You're like, come on over here to there, closer to the statue.
Yeah. Don't you really want to take a look at it? No, not really.
It's like 4% more fleshy every time it eats someone.
Yeah, it's a little uninspired. I don't think I needed a closer look. But then he shoots chains out anyway, so it's like, what is the reach on those chains?
Yeah.
You definitely...
Nonsense. I'm starting to think that the logic is inconsistent in Hellraiser.
Did you guys watch the new one?
Yep.
What'd you think?
That was too quick. I like the female Hellraiser type in. If I'm going to be completely honest, I got a little nerdy over they have to bleed you when you're opening the puzzle. That didn't ever seem like that was necessary before. But I mean, I don't know. I think people get so precious with these things when they forget that like maybe the first 2 are watchable and there's 10 other ones. So I didn't exactly get bent out of shape over it.
I like the idea of a Lady Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Where she could show
The
up.
voice was
Lady
cool.
Pinhead could be like, all right, I'm going to torture you forever, but you get to have sex once. Like, I think that'd be really funny, her going around to like incels and trying that pitch. It'd be like a real easy day for Lady Hellraiser, I think. Like, oh, it's a deal. It's a deal.
She's like, shit. There's some good design quality in it, too. I didn't love that just anybody could be taken. Like, you got to... They became victims of a person. I get it. It's a big allegory for like how addiction destroys everyone around you. But yeah, we're going on to a real controversial one here. Jeepers Creepers.
This is a tough fight.
It's a tough fight for several reasons.
Except, wait. There's a scene in Jeepers Creepers where he's in the highway and they like try to hit him with the car. And he just does like a little Jackie Chan run over the car.
He does a Jackie Chan run over the car. Yeah, he does.
Like, okay,
he does a rush hour. Yeah.
And he does it again. He does another Jackie Chan rush hour over the car. So, and then if I remember, 185 times they do this. And they finally like fuck up the timing of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, they just keep running him over. And like, I feel like you've given us the perfect way to defeat him because he obviously cannot resist this Jackie Chan run. He could have at any time just walked off the highway or
loves it. Yeah. He could have moved to the side at any point.
Yeah. It's like a vampire counting rice. It's like, no, if you drive at him at 10 miles an hour, he has to Jackie Chan run over your car. So yeah, we already know his weakness.
My experience with this film was I didn't know anything about it or who made it. I went to go see it and I really loved the first, 30 minutes. The idea of this like incredibly creepy truck with this guy who was always like kind of off in the distance. That scene where they like drove by it and he turned around and saw them looking at him, I was like, this is going to be amazing. What is this movie?
Yeah.
And then it just kind of, he's a big bat gargoyle thing. He can't die. He likes kids. It's not the same movie anymore. And then...
You know what stuck with me about that movie? Is the psychic lady shows up and she introduces herself and she says, my name is Jiz L. Gay Hardman. And I was like, what the fuck did that lady say her name was?
I think that might have been the director trying to tell us something.
Yeah.
Because
I'm like, did you let your 9-year-old name that character?
Yeah. Maybe a 9-year-old.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, this is getting dark. Let's get to the real meat of this.
I did read that this is based on a true story. Did you hear that?
What?
Yeah, he said there was a story of the driving part. Was like
there's a guy named Dennis Depew that did murder his wife, and a brother and sister drove by as he was disposing of the body. And then they were like, let's make that a movie. And and the thing that always stuck with me when I first saw this movie is I wasn't a fan, but the thing that always irked me was the personalized license plate that the creeper has.
Be eating you?
Yeah, because I'm like, did he go to the DMV?
Dude, he went to the DMV. I thought I had the exact same conversation with my brother. Like, did this motherfucker go to the courthouse and like put his paperwork down? Like, what is this shit?
And is he like, it's B eating you? And they're like, it's beating you. And he's like, no, listen to me. It's B.
No, he's like, because I eat, right? I'm an eater. I wake up every 27 seasons and I eat people. So that's what I want people to, that's what I want this to convey. All right.
And his thing is that he got whatever he ate from people. So he'd eat your eyes and then he'd get your eyes.
He'd get your eyes. So, yeah.
I don't know how that'd help at the DMV. I guess he'd eat like a very patient person's pancreas. He's like, oh, now I can go to the DMV to get my personalized license plate for my
And it is a classic. All right. I want classic plates. That truck, it's
not the fish background. I don't want the salmon background on the license plate.
That little salmon would have been so nice. Little sunshine.
Oh man.
Yeah, this movie falls apart so hard.
If this movie wasn't so poisoned by its history, that would be a really fun sketch to do.
Yeah.
So I think you got it. You got the secret. You hit him with a car until he's like, he's got to peel himself off the pavement. Then you throw him in chains or something. That's what they do in the movie. It works.
Do we have any great drivers in our lineup?
We do. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out the director, Victor Salva.
Yes.
Because Sean, are you familiar with Victor Salva?
I'm not.
Okay. Buckle the fuck up. This guy.
Oh boy.
And he made Jeepers Creepers after all this happened. On his first feature film debut, which was produced by Francis Ford Coppola, Clown House. The lead actor was a 12-year-old boy, I think. Victor raped him, and he recorded himself doing it. So there is no question he did this shit. Yep. And they found the tape. They found other tapes. He went to jail. He's a fucking pedophile. And then he gets out and gets to make fucking Jeepers Creepers. He's just because there is no justice in this world. Wow. Francis Ford Coppola actually called his experience. Now I get
why you were weird about me when I mentioned the 9-year-old.
Yes.
I get.
And Dirk was like, awkward interaction. Yeah, Francis Ford Coppola actually called this an experience that would make him grow as an artist. So Francis Ford Coppola is a piece of shit too. Yep. So you know what? Wow. We're going after him too. We're taking these two fucking dirtbags out. And I'm giving you're calling in help. You get Agent Carter from Rush Hour 2. You and Carter versus Victor Salva, of overweight fucking child predator.
I touch his radio.
Oh, shit. Wait, Carter's radio or Victor Salva's radio?
Oh, Carter's radio.
Okay, so you setting Carter off. Carter is like, now he's awakened. You've awakened his true form. He said, oh, hell no. He reacts in a pitch that is just, Salva's brain can't handle it. His fucking head, his eyeballs explode.
Hey, you've been walking around with that Chris Tucker impression this whole time?
I didn't even know I had it in me. I got a Ruby Rod in me. I could add that to my fucking resume. But he's not down. His eyeballs has exploded from Agent Carter's high-pitched response to you touching his radio, putting the Beach Boys on or some shit. So we got to finish him off. Sure. So why don't you take Mark Dacascos' Manny from Brotherhood of the Wolf with you to finish off. Yeah, Dirk, why don't you do the honors? I know you got a thing for justice against Victor Salva.
I do.
He's a big Dacascos head, too.
Mm-hmm. Full disclosure, that was my response the second Zach mentioned this episode. Is I was like, I don't know if I can talk about this piece of shit movie with this pedophile.
Yeah, I was like, don't worry about it. I got you, bro. We're not even gonna do the Jeeper.
Amazing.
Go to town. This is something this is justice he will never see in real life. So,
does it have to be related to Mark Dacascos in Brotherhood of the Wolf?
No, you just got
only the strong.
Yeah, you could do a Native American dude that's just super sweet at fighting. That's
Yeah, I think
if we're trying to go by my only rule, which is that the movie has to be from the same year as 2001, I think Only the Strong was a late 90s film. So
that's true. And so was Drive.
Drive is so good.
It's so good.
He still had that super kick in him.
Yeah,
he did.
I mean,
it's in his heritage.
We've done a lot of head kicking and whatnot, but I really feel like Mark Dacascos, if he focused his energy, he could just groin kick him in half. And I think
that'd be sweet.
Nothing would give me more joy than that piece of shit just exploding in a glorious puff of blood in the air.
Just bone tomahawk him in half with a dick kick.
Just while Francis watches and is just like, no, but I gave you so many opportunities to be gross and terrible.
Yeah. And then one of you turns and goes, just wait, Francis, you're next because I have Jet Li from The One. And he's got something to say to you.
Oh, the one with the reggae dreads.
Yes. That's you want reggae dread one? Okay, you got reggae dread one. You've got Party City Blackface Jet Li from The One.
Party City Blackface Jet Li. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to go tell that man, Francis Ford Coppola, he was very, very wrong about how that pedophilia would increase his artistic growth. And then I need you to tear him in half dick first. And he'd say,
all dick fatalities. Yeah. What is this power?
Only he'd say it in a Jamaican accent, which I'm not going to do. Jet Li would try, which I think would sound a little like this. Jamie, cut that. Cut the whole thing.
Biggest blue balls of all time. That who knows what? I'm sure that Rasta Jet Li had some power, though. Who knows what order he was in the hit list? He probably, because they all gradually experience an increase in power. So I think Rasta Jet Li, fucking Rasta Jet Li, has more strength than a normal human, enough to tear Francis Ford Coppola half dick first.
I know,
but he wouldn't know it yet. He hasn't tried it yet. He's like, oh my God, where did I get this terrible strength? Because
I know there's been a lot of Mortal Kombats over the years with a lot of characters, but Rastafari and Jet Li versus Francis Ford Coppola is the match I want to see.
Make it happen. Somebody with better
Yep.
AI technology than I have.
Hey, I'm
I
going to
love
throw this in there too. Versus Puppet Masters.
Dude, Rasta Jet Li versus Puppet Master and Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
Charles Band, where you at? I know you're listening. I know you searched for blood dolls and found that episode of the DOGGZZONE 9000. Doll man, where you at? All right, so closing out our movie monster mash that of films that I don't think should exist. We're going with something a little more topical because there's a third one of out right now, and it's doing gangbusters apparently, but it's the Terrifier. I'm going to caveat this by saying that I appreciate that a film like this can exist, and I'm sort of happy that it's doing well because it's as independent as a film can get, and it's kind of defying the odds of like what studios think people want. But at its core, the first movie is just so fucking mean-spirited to the point where like I hate it. It's like
It's trash.
hopeless and misogynistic in a lot of awful ways, and it's just it's just a gross film. I watched it and I was like, I don't want to do anything nice for the rest of the week. Like, I'm done like existing as a human right now. Art cannot be defeated, and it just turns in the film into like from a horror movie to just like a mean-spirited piece of torture. And
Yeah, it's a real hostile vibe.
yeah,
Like a hostile, like the Eli Roth movie. So yeah, I guess he is, you say he can't be defeated, but he's really close to just a regular guy with a garbage bag of weapons.
yeah,
And like he'll come back to life if you kill him, but like he does feel pain, which I feel like
you can
that's
kick his ass.
the best you can. You can.
Yeah.
As long as you just stab him with something, he'll have to let you go.
Right.
He does have a gun, which makes
That's the other thing that kind of is iffy with a lot of slasher people, because they're like he just broke a rule. Like, you can't just bust a gun out when you're losing and just fucking shoot somebody. But it's kind of hilarious that he did that. He's like, oh, you're getting me. What am I gonna do?
of all the moments in the movie, I was like, okay, I kind of like that one. That's a miserable, sadistic movie.
Oh, so you did watch that movie, right?
I did, yeah. Pretty recently, I like just a week ago when you said I should learn about.
Oh, no.
When I
What
said
that
don't
is.
watch it.
You said at least read the Wikipedia. I'm like, I'll just put it on while I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big clown guy. I don't think they're scary. And the more stuff you put on their face to make them look like demons, I just think it's sillier. And so this was never like one that was for me. Like you said, I like the caveat that I'm excited for any, independent thing that does this kind of business. But it's not for me. The first one, I saw the short. I found the first one really unpleasant. The second one,
Yeah.
I get that people go, oh my God, the gore gags, but like, there's not much else there. And so I don't know. I'll see them all, but they're already gonna do a fourth one, and I don't know.
He says that's the final one, so we'll see how he feels.
Depends on the money, I bet.
when his wallet fills up. Yeah.
We've got 12 or 15 puppet masters, so
The whole grimy, like Rob Zombie hillbilly type stuff, like there's no appeal there. This was like that in a city. Like, it was just really grimy. And I was like, it's gross. You made a gross thing that's very unpleasant.
It is very like Hot Topic clown.
Yes.
Like almost bordering into like, it's not quite a Juggalo clown, but it's like
Spencer's.
it's right there. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a fucking nerd, at the very least.
Oh, he's a huge nerd.
Yeah.
He's very much like, I'm with you, Dirk. These films are kind of like Conor McGregor for me.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see him lose more than anything, but I'm still going to pay to watch it maybe happen. I'm going to shell out the bucks and go check it out. He's just kind of, he's a goon. He's a fucking incel clown. That's his whole thing. If you saw the short, he carves some really awful, horrible incel type shit into a woman for no reason.
Yep.
It's not like she ever did anything in the film to deserve it. He just does it.
And then he meets that lunatic lady, and she's like, oh, I want to be your mommy. And he immediately just starts sucking his thumb like a pervert.
That's
I'm like, yeah.
And then he's like wearing her torso, right? He's wearing her breasts.
Yeah.
Fuck this movie, man. Take this guy out.
Yeah.
Shoot this motherfucker.
Okay, so this was pretty recent movie. So who do we have in our lineup? Who can we call on?
Well, I'm going to start you with Yuri Boyka from Boyka Undisputed.
Oh.
You get a Scott Atkins. I'll give you a Scott Atkins.
Scott Atkins. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I knew exactly who that was. So this is Undisputed 1? Or no, it couldn't have been. This is...
Boyka is 3, I think.
Oh, God, that movie's so fucking sweet.
Yeah.
That capoeira fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the one Vanessa actually turned me on to. That was
Vanessa
I hadn't
loves
seen
that. Loves her
she's-
Scott Atkins. Oh, fuck yeah. Like, he's got no chance to get Scott Atkins. Because Scott Atkins is a lot like an Art the Clown. Like, he can just, like, break a leg and he'll just kind of, work through it.
But with less silent mugging though.
Yeah.
That's,
Right.
He's got to do one of those sweet kicks where he spins and then the foot kicks you some way that you didn't even know a foot could do. I don't even know what that's called.
Well, it's like it's like a triple fake out spin where he spins one. You think it's just coming around the back like a normal like backspin kick, but then he spins again and then that foot comes back around.
It's a Glaube Phytosa kick.
Yeah.
Already he has no chance. Who else can we call? I wouldn't mind just fucking jumping him into this gang. Just let's get in a circle, beat the shit out of him.
It's 2001. Why don't I give you, for this limited time only, a second Scott Adkins, Hard Target 2, West Baylor.
Okay.
Man, Scott Adkins was busy that year. Yeah. He's got some...
All right. So we got...
I've never actually seen that movie, so I assume just
he's probably tough.
Do regular Van Damme from Hard Target, but just Scott Adkins
this was
instead.
2016, right?
Oh, 2016. Sorry, yeah. 2001 was Jeepers
Well,
Creepers.
there's no way Art would be so old by this day.
We got two Scott Adkins and me and Dirk. We're all in a circle stomping on him. we got room for a couple more.
This is a weird year because by this time, straight to video action movies kind of like weren't too much of a thing anymore, like they were in the 90s. So you're gonna get the original Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay, that terrible one.
yeah, the bad one. Yeah, you get Fresh Prince. What's his name? Will Smith. That's
Will Smith is Deadshot. Sure.
The crocodile guy. You got the dude from Hostel, the pyro guy.
Well, this gang beating of a clown just got a lot less likable.
Yeah. You brought in like another clown, basically. You got Harlequin.
Yeah.
She's gonna out clown him.
Well, I guess I like that there's a superhero element because it feels like you need some sort of a superhero solution to contain an unkillable clown. Otherwise, you just have to sit here beating the shit out of him all day, every day.
Oh, shit. You know what's going to happen? Art the Clown's going to become the newest member of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Amanda Waller's going to put a bomb in his neck, and he'll just make a big old grin. Oh, that sucks. This is the worst possible outcome.
James Gunn's Suicide Squad 3, starring Art the Clown and his bag of trash.
He might make it good.
He might make it good.
He spins
put
trash
him there with
in
John
gold.
Cena.
I love it. I love it already.
John Cena would say something like, "Don't you ever shut up."
Yeah, he would hate this fucking clown. Yeah, that'd be good.
Idris Elba. He would definitely not get along with Art the Clown. There's no chance.
Oh, no patience for this bullshit.
Idris Elba would get along with the CD Cenobite guy, though.
Oh, hell yeah. He'd be DJing all night on his ass. Lay down, CD man. Let me take it to the box. I don't know how Brits talk about DJing.
Yeah, Chris Tucker was better, but I appreciate the showmanship.
You're never going to know until you try. So yeah, you guys successfully beat Art the Clown and recruited him into the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, well, we really blew it there. Sorry, everybody.
This might be his worst nightmare, though. He's not a one-man show anymore. He's an ensemble character now.
I'm glad he's unhappy, but so is the rest of the world.
Well, that's all I got for the movies. It was a big old fucking mess like I knew it would be.
I think it's the best show ever.
I do not have the brain for organizing like Robert does, but you know what? It's we've proven one thing, that all that organizing is goes to waste with us. So
I like it. We didn't have to roll any dice.
Yes.
No dice. I don't do dice. Yep.
We killed a clown.
I just want you to kill the clown.
And a pedophile. Yeah.
Such a messed up game.
Just blew his ribcage out of his pelvis.
Einstein, Hunter, Frankfurt.